Hi, and welcome to episode and video number 4 in the 30 Videos in 30 Days series. My name is Steve Gamache, professional photographer, videographer, and audio engineer slash podcast production expert. And you'll probably notice that we talked about this in the last video. If you looked at the first one, episode number 2, and then episode number 3, you'll notice very bright windows behind me. And the problem with that is cameras want to try to average out the scene to a neutral gray exposure value. And if you place a very bright scene behind your subject, the camera is going to try to tone that down to make that scene average gray, and your subject is going to be very underexposed. Or if it exposes enough for the subject, the background will be extremely bright and overdone, overexposed, and the balance is just all out of whack. You'll probably notice the camera trying to do things to try to compensate because things are too bright and too dark, and it's kind of going back and forth. At least it's done that on some other videos. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to turn around and show you how much better it is with the light facing me rather than the light behind me. Okay, I'm much closer to the actual camera behind the camera, but I want to show you an additional exercise here of how the camera reacts to bright light. So I'm going to go ahead and pan the camera. This is a different room to these windows, and notice how dark everything gets. So the camera is trying to average those windows out to an average gray, and anything in front of there is going to be very underexposed because of the behavior of the camera. So we're going to go ahead and pan off to the right, and I want you to notice how the camera brightens up to accommodate the darker scene or less light coming from the walls. It is even affected by the brightness of these monitors in the room as well. So you can see how much the camera is trying to compensate and kind of make a nice average scene as far as brightness goes, and it will try to compensate for very bright objects like windows or other bright objects as well, or very dark areas as well. So if we pan down here lower, you'll see things brighten up quite significantly, and the camera is very much trying to average this out. So this is another exercise. In the next scene, I will turn myself around in the other room, and you'll see what the difference that makes. Okay, I've repositioned the camera. So the window is behind the camera off to the side, and I'm facing the windows at about a 45, so the windows are over here. And you can see how much better the lighting is doing that simple task. And I've got an overhead fluorescent light, which we'll find out isn't the greatest thing to do either. But notice how much better the light is just doing that. So don't put bright lights or windows behind you. Face the windows so that you get some light into those or off to the side. Simple thing to improve your photos and your videos, easily done. So for more information and more episodes to come, please go to Facebook to the 30 Videos in 30 Days page, or visit my website at www.sgphotography.com.